Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my live stream, my weekly live stream every Monday at 9 p.m. Amsterdam Central European Time. Streaming from my home with my wonderful Yamaha C7 and some toys here, my iPad, a vintage cork with some analog sounds and loops and all of that. And yeah, thanks for tuning in again. There was just an announcement here on Dutch television that the lockdown is still going to take at least a month, and I'm afraid it's going to take much longer. So I'll be here for a while, streaming at home. What most musicians do. What else do we do? And it's not a self pity. You have to stay positive. That's what I do. That's the only way to get through this. And when the first lockdown started like a year ago, I realized that, this is the moment to start taking live streaming seriously, which I did. And it has brought me actually a lot of, great evenings, but especially also a lot of new followers. So many new people discovered my music. And that's also thanks to you sharing my content. And I'm very grateful for this. So if you are on Facebook, especially on Facebook, on any platform, but not for now it's YouTube and Facebook tonight, please do me a big favor and simply share this stream, because like I said before, thanks to you, it reaches other, hopefully, music lovers, and it spreads like that. And again, I've gained thousands of new followers, people who do really discovering my music, and I'm really grateful for this. Of course, if you have not subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, please go there, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. I'm also quite active on Instagram, more and more. That's growing like crazy in the last months. I don't know why, but I also like Instagram, actually. I like the Insta Live, occasionally. I just put the phone here on the piano, and people see my hands and all of that. So you can follow me there as well. And there's a lot of new music on Spotify, too. So if you go to my Spotify profile, there's a lot of new music there. And again, if you have any questions or requests, simply write me a message here in the chat. Last week I had a problem with the chat, my apologies. I was trying other software and the chat didn't work out. I switched back to the software I'm used to, which is also reliable and I think looks and sounds much better. So let's see. Okay, hi Linda, thank you. Hi Reginald, thank you for tuning in. What I wanted to say. First of all, what's really quite a tragic thing which happened last week in South Africa. That's almost like my second home. I travel there when I can travel, of course, a couple times a year. I've been there many, many times. It started like with family, because I had family living there, and I used to go there on holidays, and then eventually I hooked up with the music scene, and then I met Shannon Mode, who's a fantastic saxophone player. She now lives in Norway. Actually, I'm thinking to invite her as a guest in one of my interviews in the coming weeks. And she did a lot of great stuff for me. She introduced me to the big festivals there, and thanks to her, I really something really started happening for me there in South Africa. And then I also met the amazing, iconic Sibongile Khumalo. She was not maybe that famous outside of South Africa, but a real icon in South Africa. I think after Miriam Makeba, the most acknowledged singer, she was also not only a jazz singer, but also an opera singer and improviser, like amazing, and a wonderful human being. And last week she passed away, which is a big shock in South Africa. And for those of you, my South African friends who are watching, my sincere condolences. I actually will, in the next week, I'll play some of her music in this stream. I will prepare some videos because she was a really remarkable artist and a great human being. Check her out, Sibongile Kumalo. And then what I also started doing again is sharing videos, because for a while I only played, and then I realized, well, every time when I pick a topic to talk about or to show something, I've got a lot of nice response. And for today, I chose a video, Herbie Hancock, an interview with Herbie Hancock, where he's telling a great story about Miles Davis. And I think this is, especially also for musicians, a great thing to learn from. And he's talking about a so-called mistake. Let me first show you the interview, and then I'll get back to you. I'm not sure if you hear any sound. Hold on, just a second, please.
I have so many stories to tell about Miles Davis. And one of my favorite ones is when we were performing in, I believe, Stuttgart, Germany. This was about 1963 or maybe early 64. I think it was 63. And just as I am today, I've always been interested in science since I was a kid. So I'm always buying, now it's computers and it's, video cameras and the newest and the smallest technologically advanced things. At that time, it was tape recorder. It was before cassette. So I bought a brand new Uher, portable reel-to-reel tape recorder, which at that time was the smallest in the world, one of the smallest in the world. And so one of the big problems that Miles had with me was that I would take the tape recorder, and I remember specifically this time that I would carry the tape recorder on stage, and I would take my little microphones, 2 small microphones, because it was stereo, crawl under the piano and set the microphones up. But usually at about that time, and in Stuttgart this particular time, Miles counted off the tempo with his foot. It was like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I was still under the piano. I was supposed to start, and I was still under the piano. Miles looked up and went, ah. So he had to start it again. Now, finally we started and everything was fine. And I remember that we were playing So What, one of Miles's compositions from the late 50s, I guess. And Tony Williams was playing drums, Ron Carter bass, Wayne Shorter saxophone, and it was a really hot night. The music was tight, it was powerful, it was innovative, and fun. We were having a lot of fun, and the music was on. Tony Williams was burning on his drums, and so right in the middle of Miles's solo, when he was playing one of his amazing solos, and I'm trying, I'm in there and I'm playing. Right in the middle of his solo, I played the wrong chord. A chord that it just sounded completely wrong. It sounded like a big mistake. And I did this and I went, oh, like this. I put my hands around my ears. And Miles paused for a second. And then he played some notes that made my chord right. He made it correct, which astounded me. I couldn't believe what I heard. Miles was able to make something that was wrong into something that was right, with the power of the choice of notes that he made and the feeling that he had. And so I couldn't play for for about a minute. I couldn't even touch the piano, you know. But what I realize now is that Miles didn't hear it as a mistake. He heard it as something that happened, just an event. And so that was part of the reality of what was happening at that moment. And he dealt with it. He found something that, since he didn't hear it as a mistake, he felt it was his responsibility to find something that fit. And he was able to do that. That taught me a very big lesson about not only music, but about life. You know, we can look for the world to be as we would like it to be as individuals, you know, make it easy for me, that idea. We can look for that. But I think the important thing is that we grow. And the only way we can grow is to have a mind that's open enough to be able to accept situations, to be able to experience situations as they are and turn them into medicine, turn poison into medicine. Take whatever situation you have and make something constructive happen with it. That's what I learned from that situation with Miles.
Yeah, a very powerful story, I think, for many reasons. Of course, you know, in jazz, improvised music, creating music on the spot, what's a mistake? That's what he really points out. But also, to take it a little further, I also believe that there are so many musicians being afraid to make mistakes, which causes a lot of anxiety, and actually that really makes your playing much worse. And yeah, it's and you know, another giant, Chick Corea, what he used to do in the first lockdown, he went live every day, also a little bit to promote his school. He has a great school now, and online music course. But then he started playing every day, and he just took like sheet music, you know, songs he hadn't played for many years, just puts it in front of him and starts playing, practicing, and actually making mistakes, correcting mistakes, really showing, like, well, not showing, but explaining, like, oh, this is, you know, where it went wrong, mistake, or, you know, but okay, technically challenging, let's put it like this. And that's such a fantastic thing because, you know, we're all human beings, and occasionally we all sometimes have a hard time being on stage, you know, having to deal with maybe a bad sound or whatever energy can go wrong or is not, doesn't feel in balance. That can be a challenge, and it's nice to talk a little bit about the human side of, especially when great musicians like Herbie tell these stories, you know, behind all of this. I think that's really beautiful. So yeah, that's why I wanted to share this. I'm seeing some comments here. Jolisa, thanks for acknowledging Sibongile Kumalo. Yes, of course. Like I said before, the amazing Sibongile Kumalo. She's a wonderful singer from South Africa, iconic singer. I worked with her on a couple of occasions. I had a fantastic time, and she passed away last Thursday, which is a really big shock for the South African music world. Amazing woman. Check her out. So here, I let me project it once again, so you can have her name correctly. And check her out. Check her music out. There's a lot on YouTube. Wonderful. And Hey, Pernell is here, my dear Pernell. And your cousin is here too, watching. And Pernell, speaking about Chicoria, so Pernell is an iconic percussionist from Curacao in the Dutch Antilles in the Caribbean. Really world-class musician. He worked with Chicoria, with David Sanchez, Paquito de Riviera. He's with all those guys. He's in that league. And we're good friends, and we played together. Not enough, but we played some great gigs together. And I actually interviewed him a while ago. And Pernell, why don't we do it again? Because we're still going to be stuck here for a while. And you've got so many interesting things to tell. So if you would be up for it, it would be lovely to do another interview in the coming weeks. Let me know if you're up for this. And thanks for being here. And Astrid. Hi, Astrid. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, good to hear you again. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. So again, before I play something else, if you're on Facebook, please share this stream. I would really appreciate it. Simply press share. That would be that spreads to other people. And yeah. What did I want? Yes, okay, sorry. So today's the birthday of Martha Seaberth. She and her husband, Charles, are a lovely couple. They're American-Mexican couple, and they've been living in Amsterdam for many, many years. And whenever I play in Amsterdam, they show up at my concerts. Wonderful people, very supportive, and everybody would want to have fans like this. And today's Martha's birthday, and since she's from Latin America, and I also know a song she really loves, I'll play this for you, Martha. Felicidades, buen cumpleaños. Cumpleaños, sorry, my Spanish. And I'll play quite a known piece from the Latin American repertory, which you probably all will know. This was Besame Mucho, dedicated to Marta Seaberth and her husband Charles. And Martha had her birthday today, and they were a lovely couple, fans, music lovers, based here in Amsterdam. So yeah, I hope you had a great birthday today. Thank you for all your comments. Let me know if you have any questions too. Thank you, Reginald. Thank you, Linda. Dankjewel. Dude Carneiro, show. I know that show in Brazilian, in Portuguese means it's a show, but a show like a performance. So yeah, thanks for commenting. All right. I'm going to play some more for you. Yeah. So this was a composition by a Dutch composer, Thijs van Leer. Thijs van Leer, iconic musician, iconic composer. He started in the 70s with the rock band Focus. Maybe you know the song Hocus Pocus. He wrote that together with Jan Akkerman, the guitarist, and they had like, world hits. They sold millions of records. And then afterwards, after Focus collapsed, well, they still exist, but the big Focus, so to speak, doesn't exist anymore. But they're still playing. That was because Thijs and Jan Akkerman didn't get along very well. Thijs also started to make a lot of classical music. He plays flute, organ, piano, and he is really an incredible composer. And in my opinion, a little bit underrated. And that's why I sometimes play some of his music. So this song is entitled The Tango. And Reginald is asking, what style of music is this? Lots of improvisation. Well, yeah, so what happens, I can explain a little bit because maybe it's nice to share this a little bit. Now I cannot reach the microphone when I'll try, okay, I think you can still hear me, quite okay. So so what I do is I play the theme, and this is like an arrangement written by Thijs, and then so this is also all kind of written out, that's in my head, but like the arrangement, and then it's free, and then I go, and then what I do, I play I stay on this chord, it's called Phrygian, it's kind of this Spanish sounding, Arabic sounding, this kind of sound, and then I play whatever I play, and this is all improvised. And I can take it anywhere. I can go with the chords. Whatever. All improvised. And then, of course, and at some point, what did I do before? Oh, yeah, then I went kind of into with these arpeggios, and then I added some keyboards, all improvised. And then I put some reverb here on the piano, like real. So you get this really feeling like you're listening in a church, ambient. And then I bring it back to the theme. etc. So that's how I basically treat this song. And that's what happens with most of the music I play, jazz musicians play. You know, this was more like a tango kind of inspired song, but there is also, yeah, it can be anything. But there's usually there is a theme which is kind of fixed, not all the time, but it's kind of fixed, arranged, and then we improvise over these themes. It's also the chords which belong to those themes. I hope I explained it a little bit clear, because for musicians it's kind of common language. Hey, Gregory, all the way from South Africa too. I don't know if you tuned in before. I was talking a bit about Sibongile Kumalo, who passed away last week. Actually, maybe next week I'll play some movies from her. But you're asking a very interesting question here. Did you ever meet the South African musician Sean Bergen, who settled in the Netherlands? Yes, I did. Oh yeah, I knew him quite well. We played together on numerous occasions here in the Netherlands. And it was also, there was a band called Le Bombo, founded by a Swazi musician from Swaziland, who has also been living here for a long time. His name is Pola Mamba. And we played quite some concerts. Yeah, Sean unfortunately passed away already a while ago, but I knew him pretty well. He was from Durban. I remember he told me he was from Durban. Yeah. So I see how it's already past 10. I'm going to play one quiet song for you. And before I do that, I want to thank you for watching, for listening. Please share this stream. If you are on Facebook, simply share. Please follow me on YouTube and hit the bell icon, please. Please, please, please. Spotify, Instagram, I'm all over the place. Send me your questions, send me your requests. Zero obligations. If you would like to donate something, there is a PayPal link here and a QR code, only if you feel like. And thank you so much for listening. you very much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Good night. I'll be back on next Monday, 9 p.m. Every Monday, 9 p.m. Amsterdam Central European time. And I'm also planning to invite a guest coming Sunday, same time, also on YouTube and on Facebook. So thank you so much, everybody. All my love. Good night.